Kales here. Today I'm doing a tier list video of the Super Autopets Turtle Pack. I've been playing this game for about 100 hours, not 100 hours on Steam, but I've also played a lot on my phone. So that adds up to over 100 hours actually. And yeah, I'm just gonna be rating the Turtle Pack. Let me know what you think. I've made 5 tiers. Super Autopet, obviously best thing. Pretty good. Can be everything that is good in a lot of builds but bad sometimes, or just something that is good all around but not too crazy. Mid thing, a thing that is in some builds only okay, so in at no point it's great, and then just why does this pet even exist. First, tier 1. Some of the pictures, I don't know what happened, you're just gonna have to accept it. It's that way. First, and for, tier 1 pets, they are never really that special, so I say it's mid. It can win you around, but not really. Okay, now Cricket. Cricket I will also put in mid tier, but in upper mid tier, because Cricket, it can win you some rounds. Horse, well, actually, this is worse, I would say. And the duck, it's just good because it has a 2-3 stat line. Mosquito, honestly, I would put Mosquito here, but it's not that good. It's basically the same as a 2-3, but it doesn't have any sell value because it deals 1 damage. This again is a 2-3. Actually, I'll do it that. Can I change that around? Yes, I will change this from okay in some builds to uh nah, I don't know. What the hell? Actually, here. Okay, this pet, do I put it in the white here? It's not the worst, but it's a 3-1 stat line. So it's like the pick, but it just hits one shot every time, and maybe also not kill something like an Alchemidus. Well, actually, Alchemidus did change it to a 3-2. But something like a goldfish, it doesn't kill that. So I'm putting it here because pig, one more attack, and something that you can actually use the money itself. Okay, I'll just put it here because I put the pig, so the pig, really good because you can sell it for 3 money if you have a level 3 one, so pretty good. He is also up here because, well, actually, I'll do it like this. Pig, it's good for a tier 1 pet, and this, it's just some nice stats, and it actually helps you out. At least it feels like it helps you out. Fish, also pretty mid. And food-wise, uh, this can get you started on some builds. Yeah, I should make a different tier list for the food, but no. Also, if you want to download this tier list, I'll put a link in the description so you can see it. Spider. Spider. It's a good summon. It will carry you through a lot of rounds. And this guy, in my opinion, best tier 2 pet. It's not the best pet overall, but I sometimes keep it into late game. So yes, Swan goes up here. He has the right to do that. Okay. Peacock. Pretty mid, I'd say. You can build around it, but not really. This guy, actually, he's pretty good. It's a 3-6 base stat line, I think. Good with Peacock. Yeah, maybe here. Snail. If you lost around, it's just 3 plus 4 HP. Same as this, but 4 times as good. So, absolutely going up here. Hedgehog. Yeah, can be good in some builds, but nah, I would not. Wait, actually, yeah, backline guy. And this is for me between best because I really like the crab, and worst because I'll just put it here. Nah, put it up here. Why would I put it down here? Because it's like pretty stupid. If you want to do a build with a crab, it doesn't work because you have to scale up one crab and the other crab can copy the health from it. Back in the time, like when the game was first released, it was very good because it didn't like copy the health at the start of battle, but immediately when you bought it, so you could just get 450 health things if you have had 150 health other thing. So it was pretty good. Yeah, so it was good. Now it's really sad. But Worm, yeah, with some builds it's good, but in the turtle pack it doesn't really make sense. He's a pretty good mid-tier guy. Yes, I know. Why did I actually put you here? I like you. I like you. You go up here. Haha. and and actually I buy that a lot, but I'll just switch those two. He he is good with pill, and you can use him later. And pill, I would say overall, pretty good in custom packs at least. That is here in the turtle pack, it's pretty bad. I mean, mammoth pill is a thing that it exists, and flamingo pill, and you can go for bus maybe, but you just would rather have the deer. So I don't see why you would do that. And I really don't see any other pet here that would use a pill, so go down here. And this, go here. Why? It's a white here. I have to explain why I put it here. Because it's plus 33 stats for one round. You could either be spending this gold on something like a swan, which would pay itself back, or a snail, which gives plus 4 stats, or a like spider that is I've in total combined about 5 stats or 4 5. I don't know, but it's pretty good stats, and this is only for one round. And early on, it's not really a problem. Like if you lose one round, and the really important thing is to get something set up so that you don't lose the first 5 rounds until you get a late game scaler or whatever. So it's really bad. This guy also really bad. Plus 3 damage, but only like on one pet. So I mean, actually, it's not like goes every way away every round. But oh yeah, there's garlic. Garlic is just 10 million times better than this. It's plus 3 damage, but you can just use Peacock Garlic, which not only gets a lot of stats from the attack, but also survives because of the garlic. Smart. Yes, so yeah. Okay, Dodo, it just gives more attack. As I said, you can just use a Peacock. Also, we're on to tier 3 now. Dog. Well, actually, Dog is pretty good if you have summons. So I'll put it here. And here, Dolphin sounds like a good idea. So it basically gets rid of one pet, but a Peacock could do that with the garlic for most of the time only 1 HP. And if he doesn't get rid of it, then mid has too much HP, and you're probably screwed anyways. This guy, on the other hand, I'll actually put him up here because there's 3 things you can actually use it on. First, Peacock, but the most people that use Elephant Peacock just kill their Peacock with the elephant, so it doesn't really matter. But the 2 good things that work with this are Camel for a lot of stats or Blowfish. Nah, put him down here. But you go up here, it's early game scaling. It's basically only early game scaling. It's like an apple, but permanent, like every round stats. So it's just good for setting up builds. I mean, if you're going for a normal run, I would say maybe do not take the giraffe, but if you go for something like 5 of a kind dragon, I really needed it to just scale up one big thing and then bring out my dragons one by one and then start scaling up. And camel, It's just another great thing if you have a big camel. You can just basically transfer the stats inside of battle. You do not have them outside of battle, but you can just swap all the other things on your team out and just have the camel, and it will give you more stats. Good. He Backline Badger. Backline Badger, pretty fun if you pair it with Honey. So I put it in the same tier as Honey. Sheep. 6 stats. It's better than this. And good for a summon team. Yeah, so I'll put it up here. But like really low tier. You can see there is Cricket in here, but Cricket, you gotta understand it's a tier 1, so you buy it in the first turn, and then you have it for like the entire rest of the game, basically. Not the rest of the game, you'll probably settled at tier 6, unlike the camel, maybe. Rabbit. Extra stats from food. Rather not, you can just use a cat, and food scaling this early on is only just a worm and rabbit. But that doesn't really work out if you just get too much health from the rabbit and don't have any attack. So this only really works with Dear Lord, and this isn't in this pack. Who would have thought? There's so many good things that should be in a turtle pack, actually. Ox. Also a kind of thing that leveling him up gives him more triggers, so he's able to get more melons. But he doesn't really need more melons because he can only attack and then loses the melon, and then nothing is in front of him. So he doesn't lose the melon if another thing is in front of him. So he doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so his ability is if somebody in front of him dies, he gains attack and a melon 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times, so bad. Garlic, easy S tier. Protective equipment at tier 3, and the next one is at tier 6. And it's really good. It's in some places even better than Melon, especially if you're playing versus mode and encounter a summon team. You just put Garlic on your front unit so that the Melon doesn't immediately get popped, and then just mow down through. Also good with things like, I don't know, this guy or Blowfish, just something that has to get a lot of triggers. And you are plus 2 stats on 2 random guys. It's pretty mid, yeah. Okay, so now we're on to tier 4. Parrot. I don't really use him. And the good reason, it has a good reason. I mean, you can do camel parrot chain to get more and more stats. But besides that, there's nothing really good. I mean, mammoth. You would just rather get a tiger behind the mammoth, and the mammoth would do multiple things. Yes, who would have guessed that? Yeah, it's just a worse tiger, and I don't really care about it. Squirrel. It just gives you discounts on food, I think. I don't really even know what it does. I've never looked at its ability, so it goes in the tier. I've never played it, so why should I play it? Blowfish, on the other hand, he is perfect in almost every way. It's just a good thing. The time when I was going for AFKing until turn 8, that means the second turn of tier 4, and I had to immediately win. It's just a good thing to have on your team 3-6 stat line plus the snipes. It's a 6-6, probably 9-6 actually. And if you find a garlic, it can just go crazy. Also, if you have a camel before that and you put the stats on him and then have garlic on both of these, they are just crazy. And he also counter summons, so that's good. Hippo is good for the same reason, just counter summons. Well, actually, would I put Hippo higher? Yes, I would. Hippo is good in a lot of situations. Whale, another very, very good pet. It just is good with almost every summon pet. and it's also good with Mammoth for extra stats. And if you don't have anything, you can just use the ant that you still have from turn 1. Which actually, yeah, it seems kind of better now. Again. Bison. Scales up with higher level friends. It's okay. I mean, you can get some scaling, but you would rather get something like the monkey, which can put the stats onto something else. But actually, with the monkey nerfs, it's kind of better now, but not really. Turtle, it's the thing I rarely actually use. It gives melon to the front behind if it faints. So it's an early melon, and you can pill it. So it's a 5 gold melon. But until then, until tier 6, there's nothing that like really would make sense to put melon on, because garlic until tier 6 is most of the time just better, because melon pops after 1 hit and nobody has something above 10 attack at that point probably. The straight S, or as I like to call it, super autopet tier, because it's a super autopet. If you have it with whale and deer, and just one other pet on your team, one other tier 4 pet, like the blowfish or something. With that, you can, I think 99% of the time, just win turn 8. That's from my time when I was going for turn 8. Just the combo, whale and deer, absolutely demolishes everything. Sometimes the whale dies, but then you just have a backup. And normally you don't AFK everything, so you have something on your team, which just means that you will probably win either way. But those two, easy carry for until tier 6 at least. Penguin, good scaling, but I would put it here because you see, it sounds kind of good. It's plus 2/2, but only on tier 2 pets. And you know what is tier 2? Only the tier 1 and tier 2 tier 1 and tier 2 pets. What is level 2? I'm sorry. Just buffs up level 2 guys, which are just the ones you leveled up early on, which means the stats are pretty much always wasted. Except if you keep him for longer, but then you can just use a monkey. So I don't get it. Okay. Skunk, really good at defeating high health enemy units, especially if you have something like if you play like versus mode, because you can see what your enemy has, and if he has like high health, you just use a skunk and just demolish him with summons. That's basically it. Canned food. I rarely ever use it because in the moment there's a lot of better things to invest into, or just like use scalers. And at tier 4, you'll probably only buy this once you're at tier 5, which means you've maybe already got the things you want except one thing. And the things you want is maybe a monkey. A monkey doesn't need scaling. And the other thing you want to get, the other 1 or 2 pets you want to get, just get scaled up by the monkey and don't need +1. It's just an apple, but a bit better. And apple is a tier 1 food, so understandable. Pear, pretty good. It's +2 to stats. So I guess, yes. Or do I put it up here? It's +2 to stats. That's a lot. Yes, I'll put it up here. Because that's the best thing you can do at tier 4. Because either you do whale deer, but then you have whale deer, and then you have 1 turn remaining to get a pair, maybe, or stuff until you get a turkey. If you do summons, and else you just buff up 1 unit you want to have, like blowfish. So it's really good. Also at tier 5 if you don't have anything to do. Yeah. Here comes another good summon counter. Just deals 4 damage to the next pet, the first pet of the enemy, and if it knocks this out, then it does another 4 damage, and so on and so on every knockout. and double against tier 1 pets. That seems like stupidness, but actually, most of the summons like boss, like all token pets or tier 1, so he does half of the time probably deal 8 damage instead of 4 at only level 1, so it just gets better. So I think he's pretty good. Rooster, also very good summon pet because multiple summons, good against high health things like the skunk, and also good with just summon getting buffed up by the turkey, which will only bring them up to 7 health, but maybe they can survive a hit. I don't really know. Seal, just I also don't ever play it. I would understand if this was a tier 3 pet, but not if this was a tier 5 pet. I think it just gives attack when it eats food or so. So that's really bad. The whale shark is better and it's a tier 4. So yeah, whale shark is not in this pack, but it's, yeah. Shark, good if you already have built up summons like those two, and or a cricket, and then you can just get a lot of stats immediately. Also, from the 7 turn AFK run, I am talking a lot about the 7 turn AFK run. I got this, and this because I had this with another year and stuff. It's just 16/16 stats if you buy it. So if you put it at the back, it's already a 10/10 if your entire team dies before it. And if you have 1 year, it means it gets up to 16/16, I think. Which is just pretty good base stat line. And you can even improve that. So yeah, good. Turkey, also best thing for summons you can have. Scorpion, pretty much like the skunk, but it doesn't work against melon. So it's rather at the bottom here. Doesn't work against melon. Doesn't work against coconut, but coconut, I don't know. So it can easily get countered, especially by late game teams, and you want to defeat late game teams with 50-50 with the guy. But you could maybe use, yeah, some people do mosquito scorpion to pop them out and then use this guy. So I guess that's something you can go for. But here he comes, the perfect scalar monkey. He's not that good now, but I still want to put him up here. Plus 2/2 every round. It's a pair every round, and you can choose what you put it on. Sometimes it's bad if you have like something using blowfish or stuff. But then you can just put this at the front, and it doesn't really matter that much. This guy, good in some builds like Scorpion, but otherwise, just giving everybody health is not that helpful, especially because your enemy can also have things like Camel or this guy. So I don't really know why it should be that good. Sometimes good in versus mode, but if you can't predict what your enemy is going to get, I don't know. This guy, yeah. Also, the tiers are pretty fitting because I said, nah, I don't know. And I said, I don't know what to do with this pet. Pretty fitting. This pet, good scaling actually, pretty good scaling for a tier 5 pet. It's a better monkey. It's 2/4 stats if you buy one. So it's also a better pair. And you can just stack it, and that's good. So, and it only costs 2 money if you sell it. So pretty good. He, pretty mid, dealing 8 damage to the back guy. But if you're in versus mode, you can get easily countered by just, like, if your enemy puts a tier 1 pet at the back, it doesn't really matter, or a summon pet. Chocolate. The easiest S tier I've ever seen. It's not really a super auto pet, but it's chocolate. Chocolate is the main way to get XP in almost every single one of your runs. So it just has to be there, else you're not going to level up your pets. Only if you're going for a solo fly run, which, why would you be doing that? I never did that. No. It wasn't my first video on this channel. Nah, you didn't get me. But yeah, really just good in almost every situation. Chili, I mean, why can't you just afford a deer? It's chili but better. It can be good on things like Hippo or this guy, but I don't know. If you're going against summons, maybe it's good, but it's not always good. Yep, I only see this getting used in versus mode too. Also, thank you, phone, that you didn't ring this time. I actually didn't forget to turn it off. I'm getting spammed with messages, but you don't hear it. That's good. Haha. With this thing, sushi. Um, I do put it here. It's plus three, but it goes on random, guys. It's obviously better than the cupcake, but nothing that I would always take. But it's good with a thing like a can, which we're gonna get to in a second. But first tier of pet of tier 6, the fly. Good summon thingy dingy. Uh, but besides that, it's good for summon builds. I'll put it up here. Snake, also pretty good. Deals some extra damage. Yeah. Good if you have summons like the fly, so snake, fly, good things together. This, I don't know. If I say I don't know, I'll put it here, but I'm really conflicted about it. With pill, it's good, but otherwise you could just have something else on your team. It's plus 8 stats, but besides that, you can pill it for 4k money, 8 stats, but you have to have a free spot on your team, so I don't really get why you should be doing that. He, the gorilla, gaining coconut. Actually, he's not that good. I mean, he gains coconut, so resistance to one attack. But there's a lot of better tier 3 pets, tier 6 pets, like the coconut crabs, which just has coconut before he gets hurt. I I know he could be good with something like elephant to just trigger the coconut, but yeah, coconut with lychee would also be good. I'm getting a lot of ideas for builds, but on his own in the turtle pack, he's not that good. This guy, he's just a strict upgrade to the hippo. But I don't know if I'm gonna be putting him in S tier. First, he wasn't here since the beginning, and he not. I don't mean he wasn't here since the beginning, but he doesn't feel as OG as the hippo. Uh, and he is just, it's better than the hippo, but I mean, you don't face a lot of summons in the late game. The summons just either you won with your summons pretty early on, or you just die eventually because everything has stats and the summons they get some stats, but without really good summon scalers, without like turkey level 3, parrot level 3, it doesn't really do anything. So yeah, leopard, rather good sniper, but nothing else going for him. Dealing some damage, but he needs some scaling. And cat. So cat is one of the two main scalers you use. Okay, 3 if you count the monkey, but it's not a tier 6, so yeah. One of the two scales in tier 6, that's what I meant to say. So it's pretty good if you have something like pizza or the sushi, and if you have multiple cats, the scaling can just go crazy. Also with Peach of Immortality and something like Swan or Manta Ray or whatever else there is, Sauropod, it just gives you so many stats. I think at one point managed to get the Peach zone up to plus 60 with one cat. Some people even managed to do that to plus 300, plus 300. But that wasn't really a game where I was going for that. So it can just easily win you the game if you are going into late game, not if you win pretty early on. Tiger, also, I don't see a lot of people playing Tiger, but he's pretty good in a lot of builds. He's not good for scaling, but if you have one scaling unit, you can use Turkey Tiger, Shark Tiger, Blowfish Tiger. That's just a lot of the good things up there. Camel Tiger to get the Tiger to 50-50. Snake Tiger to get even more snipes. So it just is a parrot, but better. As I said, sadly you can't create tiger chains like parrot chains, but he's pretty good. Dragon, best scaler in my opinion, gives you plus 3366 or 99 every time you buy a tier 1 pet. And the tier 1 pets only cost 3 gold and you sell it for 1 gold, so it gives you 2 gold. And that's where the pick comes in, which gives you 1 gold when you sell it. So it's only for 1 gold 3 stats at a level 1. But I only would go start doing the dragon, doing the buy selling if he's at least level 2 or else the stats. Or maybe gonna be worth it in the short term, but not in the long term. So at least try to get him to level 2. And he is also pretty funny if you do 5 of them. I mean 4 of them and then get a 5th on the last turn. Not the entire time because then you can buy sell. That's the one problem with the dragon. You have to have 1 free spot and 1 spot for your dragon, so you can only have 3 other things. But else, he's pretty good. Except if you only want to scale up 1 thing. Yeah. The Wolverine, actually pretty good with summons. Removes 2 health from all enemies every 4 times the friend gets hurt. So it's just a good amount of HP removal, especially with summons. Pretty good. And now to the foods. Pizza with cats, pretty good. Melon, straight S tier. Because melon blocking 20 damage just like garlic, but if you face somebody with high HP, it's better than the garlic. So most of the time in normal rounds it's good. Garlic is better in custom packs a lot of the times, but as I said, you never know in normal gameplay. This guy, he's also the main thing of almost every summon build, and also good with things that are very squishy like turkey. You can just resummon a turkey if he dies. Basically like a melon blocking 1 snipe. Blocking 1 snipe, yeah, it's basically the same for getting sniped, but good if you just have summons. And the steak, it's the worst of the tier 6 foods because it only does 20 extra lets you deal 20 extra damage. And the main focus is if you have a 50-50 and your enemy has a 49-49. With a steak, you can't. It doesn't really matter if he doesn't have Malon. You just kill him in 1 hit. Or if it's like a 30-30, which most of the enemies have if I just get a 50-50. Because I outscale them. And then Melon is really useful because they attack you, they die. And with the steak, wouldn't really help you out that much, but this blocks 20 damage, which means you're going to be taking 10 damage, so you're down to 40 HP, and then you can survive another 30-30. So, yeah, that's basically it. If you want to download this for yourself, the link to it is in the description. And also, if you want me to do things of the other packs, just tell me in the comments. Subscribe to my channel also, and I'll see you the next time. Goodbye.